Hello everybody and welcome to Forever Rugby Beyond Forever Sports, and the Sharks almost completing an epic comeback against the Stormers before coming just short. 21 points, 25 is how the game ended. The Sharks recording their 9th loss of the season. The Stormers, however, getting a very, very important victory there to keep themselves in contention to finish in that sort of top 8, which is where they are at the moment, but literally at 8th. So they'll move now up into about sort of 5th or 6th, depending on how other results go over the weekend. But giving themselves a bit of a cushion from the rest. So a very important victory there for the Stormers. A loss, and they could have actually potentially dropped out of that top 8. So for the Sharks, they'll remain at the bottom of the table, although they will get a point out of that. So they'll go, in fact, I think they'll go into 15th. So I suppose silver linings. Before we break the game down, please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. And it was a good start for the Stormers, who start like a house on fire. And to be fair to the Sharks, a very impressive defensive effort in that first sort of 10 to 15 minutes, where they kept out a rampant Stormers side who started like a house on fire on the doorstep immediately and put them under a lot of pressure. But they managed to ride the wave before eventually a good cross kick from Sasha Fainberg, Gomezulu, an inside ball coming to Joseph Dweb, a little shimmy step from the hooker. He went over for a very good try. The conversion missed, unfortunately, for them. But 6 minutes later, Warwick Lunt, the boogeyman, is back. What a little moment from him. Chip over the top, inside ball to Paul de Vet, who had the pace to go over. Sasha Fainberg, who had the kicking duties, adding the extra 2, and all of a sudden, up 23 minutes, 12 points to 0. And you thought that could probably be it, but quite the opposite. In fact, Sharks almost rallied after conceding those tries. And Oxen Chair went over in the 30th minute, Currie Bosch adding the extras before the Stormers, showing you how tight the game was, took a 3-pointer at 32 minutes to make it 15 points to 7, which is how it ended at half-time. After half-time, it was going to be important. If the Sharks got the first score of the day, then I think that, or the half rather, I think they could have potentially gone to win it. They needed that momentum, but the Stormers did very well to start better. Ben Loader going over in the 48th minute, 20 points to 7. You're thinking the game's all but done. With then becoming 22 points to 7. But a yellow card to Leon Lanzas and a try for the Sharks. Francois Fenter going over. Sia Masuku getting his first points in a Sharks jersey. Meant 12 points to 14, but more to the point, a one-man advantage. However, couldn't really make that count. No points being scored whilst Leon Zas was off the pitch, and then a pretty poor penalty in the end conceded by the Sharks allowed Sasha Fainberg Gomezulu to take a penalty, which proved to be pretty decisive in the end. Sharks got a late try in the 75th minute. Bongi Manambi looked really, really good on his return, as did actually a lot of players. I thought that Chatuka looked good on his return. I thought that Salman Murat looked pretty good on his return. Pua Dianti wasn't injured, but hasn't played a couple of games. Had a couple of nice moments and a poor moment. So I suppose you get the good with the bad. And Sia Masuku adding the extras to make it a 4-point game. They had a rate penalty, and then unfortunately Bongi Manambi throwing the ball straight at the top of the line out. And that was that. If you look at some of the stats, very interesting. Territory was 51 to 48, which doesn't mathematically make sense according to Rugby Pass. But if you look at where it was spread across the field, 25, 23, 20, 31. So most of the time actually spent inside the Stormers or the Sharks to the 22. But which shows you how you know, how dominant they were. But if you look at some of the other ones there, it was 2 penalty goals that actually separated the two teams in the end there. Carries were almost the same, line breaks were almost the same, turnovers lost were exactly the same, so it really wasn't much in it statistically. The scrum was much better for the Sharks when they had ball, but Stormers dominated the scrums, to be honest, and won a lot more penalties from that. Lineouts, 100% for the Stormers, which is interesting because Joseph Dweb has had issues, but was very good today. 94% for the Sharks. If you look at other stats, post-contact meters, 315 for the Sharks. That's absolutely mental across 103 carries. So maybe defensive-wise, Stormers not really up for it, but that's positives for the Sharks. They looked really good in attack. Looked a bit more like a John Plumtree side, which is exciting. And fewer penalties conceded, but I think silly penalties conceded by the Sharks at times. Stormers conceding 10 in total. Tackle completion-wise, Sharks at 91, Stormers at 89, not too much in it. Same with the kicks, very, very similar. If you look at some of the main stats, Ben Loader carrying the ball 11 times, Evan Lewis with 7, also looked very good in his return. So it was one of those games, wasn't it? Ruben van Heerden, massive on defense, 20 tackles. He made Evan Roos with 15. Sasha Gomezulu with 15 as well. So really good to see some of the youngsters putting their hands up. If we look at meters carried, for example, Ben Loader with 95, Fassi with 58, Roos was 46. I thought Makazulum Pimpi was really, really good today. If we look at defenders beaten, Evan Roos was 6. Kanya as well, I thought looked close to his best today. So really good to see him playing at that level. Let me know what you thought about the game down in the comments below. Please do smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steve, and I'll chat to you soon.